You may or may not have seen in the preparation for the Open, Wyndham Clark using a simple device to practice his golf swing. And that brings to attention a few talking points about what we do when we practice and how important the basics are in a golf swing. Now the basics are partly the fundamental techniques, but mostly the rehearsed behaviours of a tour player where they do their same thing repeatedly regardless of whether it's correct or textbook. They just need to make sure that the golf ball behaves in a way that they can predict. And recently I came across a video on something, it might have been YouTube or Instagram, that was based around basketball. So I think it was LeBron James, and this guy who was was a journalist, I think, or a coach in college or whatever it was. He basically got up at 3 in the morning to get to the gym before him so he could then observe what he's doing in the gym, so in the basketball court. And he got up at 3 in the morning, he got there, and LeBron James was already there. And he thought, okay, well, I've got up at 3 in the morning and I've already missed him getting here and arriving and starting. He was already on the court and sweaty, so he'd already done something before that point at 4:30 in the morning. Is already an hour into his day. And the observations that he made were that he wasn't working on anything particularly different to what this guy did with his college team back in the day. Whoa. So he was very much working on the basics, and this is where elite performers and elite golfers don't get bored of the basics. The basics are still very valuable and very important. That can be a 2-foot putt, a 5-foot putt, a 10-foot putt. You can't neglect and ignore the maintenance of the basic parts of the game. Even though it might be a little bit boring sometimes to do it, you need to spot check and make sure that you maintain the good parts of your golf. But anyway, Wyndham Clark is on the range, he's using a hanger, and I like the idea. I just didn't think to pick one up, and he has inspired this video. So with this hanger on the side of the grip here, it's making me get my club somewhere that I quite like. I do sometimes get across the line a little bit, which ultimately doesn't cause too many issues. I just don't like the look of it when I'm editing a YouTube video. But it gives me an awareness of where my forearms are and how my wrists are hinging, because if I like bow that wrist, then I push it into this bit. If I cup the wrist too much, then it pushes into the other forearm. So a nice healthy Hogan hinge in the thumbs vertically kind of like gets helped with having a hanger there, which I don't really need to overcomplicate it from that. And then if we get through the ball and we release in a funny way, the hanger does funny things. If we release in such a way that the hanger doesn't interfere, it's a really good training aid. And there are so many training aids out there that are hundreds of pounds to purchase, and they do certain things in certain ways to help and adapt and maintain your golf swing, but sometimes it doesn't have to be that complicated. And when I get across the line a bit, I might kind of get a bit under here and then overreact and kind of like flip it, where I kind of get a little bit of a push and a hook. This keeps me pretty well lined up to things, and all I've got to do is feel that hinge in the wrists and go. So this, so far, obviously I've only hit 2 balls, but so far it's very hard for me to hit the ball left. So what I'm feeling here is that I can keep that in here, and then I'm absolutely allowed to release the living hell out of the golf club, because I'm not getting out of shape and then having to reroute and compensate. It's more on line, on plane, bang the head through the ball. And any neutralizing or any point of reference in the backswing where you can go, right, put it there, now I can go, I love, because I love absolutely ramming the club head through the ball, or throwing the club head through the ball with as much freedom as possible. So he's probably working on something along the lines of this, and I quite like it. It's just a repeatable thing, and I reckon when I take that hanger away I can still feel it. So with this feeling here, I am then allowed to release the head through the ball and hit a big pull. But I felt a little bit more pressure on my forearm. I felt a little bit more pressure on my forearm there, so okay, I wasn't really quite on it, but I got some feedback. I got some feedback from the feel of having the hanger there. which is delightful. And I want to be nice and light in the grip while I place the club here, nice and loose, so I can then go through the ball. Have I got my lie angle? Ah, okay, that'll be why. I have something slightly more upright than I should normally have. But little draw, good shape, good feel in the way back to let me get through the ball with a bit more freedom. Probably not going to hit it any more left than that, but something simple like this can do wonders for discovery and maintenance of certain feelings and positions in the swing. I generally don't like positions too much. I like feelings and actions. If we get too hung up on a position, then we go, oh, I've got the position. We still need to hit the ball. The most important thing is putting the club head through the ball. There we are, something nice and simple. Get the hanger on there. And away we go. Same shot 3 times. I'll have a bit of that. Ooh, looking forward to my set of these coming in very soon. But have you ever done any funny drills using funny things? Or have you indeed spent some decent money on a training aid? Now, one training aid that I do absolutely love is the, what's it called? TRS slider. The TRS slider, I had one for a short spell. I just didn't get round to doing a video on it while I had it, which is irritating, but never mind. TRS slider, I love it, but I liked the fact that you could put the TRS slider on it, hold your right arm in, and it actually does a similar thing to the hanger. But it kind of like locks your right arm in there, but from there you can then go through the ball without going through the ball. So it kind of keeps your right arm locked in without it being tense and tight and locked in. Gives you the freedom to work through that shape, that feeling. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what training aids have you used and what training aids have you disliked? What's your least favourite one? What's your most favourite one? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you on the next video.